BBC Radio Merseyside.
On the way in a few moments' time, then, the 92-year-old man who's decided to go skydiving. I think this sums it up rather well. This is for him. Nothing's going to stop us now.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you.
Let 'em say we're crazy, I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Starship, Nothing's Going to Stop Us on BBC Radio Merseyside. 9 minutes past 9. The Southport Flower Show, of course, continues today. Billy Butler will be there live from 9:30. Before that, though, we get some daredevils, don't we, on this programme? My next guest is one of them, that's for sure. Not only was he brave in his 20s, in his early 20s, he's been brave all over again in his early 90s, because Peter Proctor is 92 years old, he's from Southport, and he's going to be skydiving for charity next month, and he's in the studio with me now. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Great to have you in the studio. We're going to find out a bit more about your skydive in a moment, if that's all right. First of all, let's go back in time, and you tell me a little bit about your early flying career, if you will.
Well, I started in 1942 when I went by sea to South Africa, to Durban. Couple of weeks there, and then from there up to southern Rhodesia, Zimbabwe as it is now.
Right.
And I had 12 months there. First 3 months was ground subjects. Then I went on to elementary flying training on Tiger Moths, and then on to Harvards, North American Harvards, for advanced flying training. And then I got my wings. The proudest time of my life, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then I went, I was going up to Egypt then to do operational flying training on Hurricanes. And we went overland from Bulawayo in southern Rhodesia, over the Zambezi by train to the Congo, a ferry trip across the Congo, more road transport to the southern end of Lake Tanganyika. We sailed the length of Tanganyika in a lake steamer, another train journey to Lake Victoria, travelled all the way up Lake Victoria to a little place called Kisumu, and then from there we flew to Khartoum and up to Heliopolis in Egypt.
Right. So you've had such experiences then, it'd be fair to say. I mean, I would imagine you had to be very brave at the time, and when you look back at it now, though, it must have been the experience of your life, really.
Oh, it was wonderful. I mean, just imagine, 19-year-old, and you start on an adventure such as that.
Mm.
It was wonderful. None of the kids nowadays seem to get that sort of opportunity.
So in total, how long did you serve for then?
Oh, I only did just over 4 years.
Yeah.
But out of those 4 years, I had less than 6 months in the UK. I went from Egypt out to India, and then from India into Burma, joined a squadron at a place called Imphal in Burma, and from we went down the Chinwind Valley, different airstrips. The engineers would cut a strip out of the jungle,
Yeah.
and we would use it for a while they were building another strip further down the valley. And we gradually hopped our way all the way down the Chinwind until we got to a place called Magway. And then they pulled the squadron out to convert onto Spitfires.
So you were involved in that, but obviously, as you say, you're only involved for about 4 years. So what was your career after war then? What did you do?
When I came back, before I went into the forces, I was a storekeeper in a shoe factory. I used to issue all the materials and everything for each order. And when I came back, my job was there waiting for me. So I went back to it. But after 4 years out in the fresh air, it was driving me up the wall.
I bet, yeah.
It was like being in a cage. So I decided that right from being a youngster, I wanted to be a lorry driver like my dad. He was a lorry driver for British Rail at Accrington. So I applied for the job. And they said, yeah, we'll find you a job. What they didn't tell me was that they still had horses. This was in 1948. And before you could be a lorry driver, you had to be a carter. I didn't know the first thing about horses. I knew that when they asked me, what do you know about horses? I said, I know they have a leg at each corner. They have a tendency to bite at one end and kick at the other end, and they have to go on the pavement.
Right, yes.
Anyway, I decided to try it, so I started work Monday morning in the stable. They had a permanent stableman, and he showed me how to put the harness on one of the horses. Tuesday morning, after we cleaned up the stable, we went out in the yard, and he showed me how to hitch the horse into the shafts. And then he walked away. And I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, if you see any full lorries in the shed, pull them out and put an empty one in. Well, imagine me trying to reverse a horse and lorry into the shed. I never even tried anything like that before.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, I'd succeeded. And as I say, I put it all down on the word processor, this, and I put there, I must be a quick learner, because on Wednesday morning, I'd only been in the yard one day, a man came from Manchester, from head office, to pass me out as a carter.
Wow.
On Thursday morning, I was out in Accrington making collections and deliveries, which I did for a couple of months or so. And then a vacancy came up for a driver's assistant. I applied for that, and I ended up as assistant to my father.
So it's been a varied life then, hasn't it? It's been a varied life and a varied career.
I've had a wonderful life.
It sounds like it, and as I said at the beginning, you're 92. I don't want to dwell on your age, but there is a good reason for me mentioning your age quite a few times, because you've done all of that, you've been through all those experiences. What on earth has made you want to do a skydive at the age of 92?
Actually, I saw an advert in the paper, in the local paper, about people asking for volunteers to do one for the Heart Foundation. And I made some inquiries about it, but I had difficulty getting in touch with them. And I didn't get any information from them for 2 or 3 weeks. During that time, I'd seen in one of our magazines that 2 of the ladies were doing a skydive for the RAFA, for the wings appeal. So I got in touch with them, and they welcomed the idea of me doing it. And it's grown from that.
Yeah, you've raised, it says here you've raised over £4,000.
No, 2,000.
Oh, 2,000, right. I've been slightly misinformed there, but you've collected for the Royal Air Forces Association for the past 6 years at places like supermarkets.
Oh, yes, I have done that, yeah.
Right, so this is a cause close to your heart then, for obvious reasons.
Definitely. I mean, for the last 6 or 7 years, I suppose, I've averaged between £3,000 and £4,000 every year.
Right. And by the time you get to doing this skydive, do you think you'll be nervous, or bear in mind what you've already been through in your life?
I don't think it will. People keep asking me, have you done one before?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I've sat on a parachute for many times. But I've never had to use it, thank goodness.
Where are you doing it?
It's a little place called Sibson, Subson.
Yeah.
It's where the Falcons, the skydive people, you know, for the RAF, the one who demonstrate, it's where they do their training. And I shall actually be doing my skydive with one of the Falcons.
Okay.
So I should be in safe hands with one of them.
I'm sure you will be.
Unless he starts trying to do any fancy work on the way down.
What, tricks? No, you don't want any tricks, do you?
No, thank you.
Well, listen, you are a better man than me, because I couldn't do it. I'm petrified of anything like that. So when's this happening then, do you know?
It's on the 3rd of September.
Yeah.
I don't know what time yet. We still haven't got that information.
Right. You need a video of this, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
You must send
I believe they do a video on your way down.
Right. Well, you must send me the video, and we'll put it on our page so everyone can have a look at you doing the skydive.
Skydive, yeah.
The very best of luck. I'm sure you're not going to need it. It's been lovely speaking to you. It's fascinating talking to you. I'm sorry we haven't got more time for more stories, but Peter, I'm just going to give out the address. It's just...
That's right,
yeah, justgiving.com / Peter Proctor Skydive.
That's it, yes.
So if anyone wants to donate, it's for the Royal Air Forces Association.
It's for the Wings Appeal.
Yes, and I'm sure it's going to be a great event. It's a very worthy cause, and all the very best. And thank you for coming to see me today, Peter.
It's been very good to come.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There you go. As I said, Peter's a better man than I, and good luck to him. What a fascinating guy Peter was. 92 and doing a skydive as well. His Just Giving page is justgiving.com / Peter Proctor Skydive, and he's raising money for the Wings appeal from the RAF Association as well. So that is a fantastic